We are, and welcome to the Soul and Social. Just give everybody a moment to join on in. I'm here today with some amazing people. I've got my co-host Renee, and we've got Kelsey Dalziel. She is a medium and soul coach and the fearless leader of 1111 Holistic Community here in Sherwood Park. So we're super excited to have her on today. Welcome, girl.
Hey.
Thanks for coming.
I was like, there's like some weird echo noise I'm getting in the background. Do you guys have that, or are you guys good?
I'm good.
No, we're good.
Okay, perfect.
It's just you.
It's just me. It's always just me, right?
It's just the echo between the ears.
It is. So today is going to be super fun. We're going to be talking to Kelsey a little bit about this mediumship soul coaching, how she got into it. We're going to talk about the upcoming open house at 1111 this weekend, actually. Yeah. And Kelsey's going to be doing some fun pulling cards for us today. So if you happen to be watching or catch the replay, write either or, but you can always put your name down for a card later on. So we'll bring that up. But anyways.
So
we do this to each other lots.
Who's going to talk next? So your studio's in Sherwood Park, which is just outside of Edmonton.
Yeah.
How, I know it's been around. Has it been around for a year, or is it a little bit longer?
It was a year in November.
Okay.
So almost a year and a half. Yeah.
Yeah. So what prompted you to do the store?
Well,
or the studio, not the store.
There's where in the story do you want me to start? It all kind of came about strangely and divinely, and I actually owned the aesthetic shop right next door to the studio, and I've done nails for 18 years, and over the years holding hands with women and listening to their stuff, you become like a therapist by association when you're in the industry of hair or nails or massage, or when you're touching people's bodies in any which way. And so that's how I grew my intuition. And I kind of grew up like a psychic kid and then put it away. My husband thought I was weird when we met. And so I just kind of,
in the industry.
I just kind of stifled it a little bit and, completely, and had some kids and I call it the white picket fence syndrome. And we opened up the studio next door. And I was so unhappy because I was doing what I was supposed to do. It was my dream to own my own place. It was, I liked my clients. I liked the job that I did, but I just came into this really dark place of depression and anxiety. And while I was doing nails over there, I kind of had this come to Jesus moment where I'm like, something's got to give here. I'm so unhappy. And so I just had a breakdown one day and I was like, whatever's out there, help me, give me something. And the next day I had a client come in and she was all excited because she was going to see a medium. And I immediately just it's like Marie Kondo. It just sparked this joy in me. And I was like, oh my God, I used to be obsessed with John Edward and Sylvia Brown and all that when I was a kid. And I'm like, I love mediumship. And I used to read tarot cards and I did Reiki. I was doing Reiki. I did my Reiki 1 and 2 when I was 18, 19 years old. So I used to be so into it. And so she came back 3 weeks later and she's like, my reading was amazing. You should go. And the lady was, I think, $200 at the time. And I was like, I don't have $200 to go see a medium. So 3 weeks later, she came back for her nail fill and she said, one of her students charges $60. So I lied to my husband. I hid it from my husband. I went to this girl's house and she was younger than me. And we sat down and she said, how long have you been reading for? And I said, I'm not a reader. You're what? What's going on? And she said, no, they're telling me that you're a medium. And I'm like, no. I used to be into all this kind of stuff. And I'm not really, no. And she's like, well, that's what you're supposed to be doing. And I was like, oh, okay. And then she started talking about my grandma and how my grandma had passed. And I had her teacups. And she started talking about my grandpa and how he played the fiddle and just all these amazing things that she couldn't have possibly known. We were totally strangers. And she blew my mind. The one thing that she said that made me an absolute believer in her was that she said, your grandma says that you need to be kinder to your husband. And I was like, whoa, this girl's legit.
It is her.
It is. It's true. It's true. Yeah. So, so anyway, we finished up our session and she said, I go to this class on Wednesday nights. Do you want to come with me? And I said, no, I do nails and I work on Wednesday nights. I can't possibly make it. And she's like, well, if you're meant to be there, you'll be there. And of course, as the universe has it, that night there was a snowstorm and all of my nail clients canceled. So I texted this girl and I said, hey, remember me from 2 days ago? And I said, can I come to that class? My whole night canceled. And she's like, yep, for sure. Here's the address and come. And then it was just this kind of secret society that I joined without my husband knowing. And yeah, I started just reading friends and my clients, just a little card here, card there, and practicing. And I just started following. I always call it the unicorn footprints, and things just started happening. So I started taking meditation teacher training, and fell in love with meditation. And meditation is what I say really brought me out of my funk or my depression or that my dark soul of the night, whatever you want to call it. And it really helped me turn inwards to see what I needed to do to help myself instead of looking for something outward, right?
Yeah.
And so I started teaching meditation because it had such a profound effect on me. But I was renting little places all over Sherwood Park. It was like the upstairs of a hair salon at one point, and like the old the Ardrossan rec center or whatever. And I said to my business partner at the nail salon one day, I feel like the right place is right under my nose. Like I feel like if I'm looking too hard and if I just stop looking, the right place will appear. And then the next day she texted me and said, oh my God, the dance school next door moved out. So I called the landlord and I said, I'll take it. And 6 months of negotiations later, I was in. So it was all divine timing. It was all just putting it out there and asking for what I needed next and receiving it when it came. So yeah, in November I left doing nails next door, and I'm just like, I'm full-time in the studio and I'm loving it. It's like it's my sanctuary. It's my home. So yeah.
It's a great space.
Yeah. It's so pretty.
It is. It's kind of funny because the first time I came in there, I was just looking at books and stuff, and I noticed your chairs because I was moving, and you told me where to find the chairs, and I was like, thank goodness she was there because my kids hate them, but they look really cool.
Are they the black metal chairs?
Yes.
Yes.
I got the gray. And they're great because they can't wreck them. So I was really happy with that.
I have those in my dining room now too.
That's where they are.
Yeah.
So it's funny because when I think of you, I think of my kitchen chairs.
Yep.
So yeah, it was good. But it's so neat hearing people's stories, and like Tarah and I have always said, that's kind of what fascinated us with doing the show is everybody has a pivotal moment in their life that shifts the course of the direction they're going. And I don't think anyone gets into holistic living or any of this kind of stuff. A lot of people, maybe some people do, but most of us get into it after a life experience. Yeah. And it's a very personal thing for you. And it's more of a spiritual journey than it is really just an occupation.
Totally.
So, it's neat to hear that yours started, and you don't want anyone to deal with mental health or depression or anything like that, but it is so common. And most people don't realize something as simple as meditation can make such an impact.
Yeah. Yeah. So, it can be really profound. And when I started doing readings, I noticed that most of the people, 90% of the people who were coming to me were women who were in the place that I had been, feeling totally stuck, totally like the white picket fence, the house, you get the husband, the car, the kids, all that kind of stuff that you dream of having as a little girl, because that's what we're told is what our life is going to be or should look like. And then suddenly it's not enough. I always joke, it's like that old Reba McEntire song, Is There Life Out There, where she goes back to school. That's like the theme song. That was the theme song to my life. But all these women started coming to me, and it didn't matter if they had newborn babies or if they were great grandmas. They were all in that place where it's like, okay, I had everything that I wanted, that I thought that I wanted, but it's not enough. And that's where meditation is the perfect place it's the perfect place to introduce meditation into your life, and set you on that personal growth journey. I'm big on spirituality and being spiritual and, trusting in the universe. But if that doesn't resonate with you, meditation still, it just reintroduces yourself to yourself. And I think that's why everything is lined up perfectly for me. And that's brought me into coaching, because a lot of my readings are just me giving you information about you, what I can energetically pick up about you. And then they're left a space for a deeper conversation where I could actually, I got really into teaching personal development and spiritual development and stuff, and people wanted more. They wanted some direction instead of just a reading, just me giving them information and them taking it home. So yeah.
That's awesome.
It's so fun. And so this is really cool, because like I love synchronicities and divine timing and things. And I feel like that's how our polarities kind of pulled together. I'm like, how did I not know you were here?
I feel the same way.
And then we have like all these like synchronicities, like when you're talking about nails, I was like, what? This is nuts. But you also have had the opportunity to work with Gabby Bernstein too. Like, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Can you tell us like a little bit about that fun stuff?
She came into my life. I came into her life. I met her. Well, I went to New York to do her Spirit Junkie masterclass. I guess it was, what year are we in? 2015, 2016? Yeah, 2016. I just kind of followed her. I'm a huge Hay House junkie. So Hay House is like the big spiritual publishing company. And I just like anybody who's an author with Hay House, I trust that they're going to have a good book. And so, yeah, I started following Gabby Bernstein somewhere along there. And I like her. She's this like little Spitfire New Yorker kind of spiritual teacher. And she put on she was advertising her Spirit Junkie Masterclass, which is melding your spirituality and business. She was advertising it online, and I was listening to one of her live streams, and she said, if you want to win a scholarship, then send me a 1-minute video about who you are and what what your desires are and what your intentions are and stuff. And I sent that video in, and then it was just like the money showed up to go, the opportunity showed up to go. And I found myself in New York and didn't know anyone. I'd been to New York twice before, luckily, but I never would have gone had I not had the opportunity to go with my cousin and then with my parents before that. And New York was a place that my grandpa lived. And so I grew up having this grandpa from New York that just seems so like wild and exotic, and like from little old, Nowheresville, Sherwood Park, Alberta. New York is like, and you're not a seasoned traveler, New York is like a big deal, right? And my grandpa would come every couple of years when we were kids, and it was just like, it's like in every movie and every show is set in New York, right? And so I had the opportunity to go there with my parents when they were moving his apartment. And then my cousin, who's traveled the world, she's like, I've never been to New York and you've gone. So we went the year before I went to see Gabby. And then when I went to see Gabby, I had enough confidence to go travel to New York, knowing nobody who was there, and just go. I knew how to get everywhere. I knew the subway system. I knew Uber was just hop in an Uber. And so on the third day, it's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday conference on how to put your spirituality into your business, or put your business into your spirituality, meld them. I didn't even know what I was getting into. I just knew that I had to be there. It was another chance to go to New York. I had to get there. And I had no expectations, because I really didn't even know what the training was about, because I don't really listen a lot of the time. As Tarah knows, she'll tell me things and I'm like, yeah, okay. And then I'm like, wait, what were we talking about? But it's always going. It's not always listening. But it was so deep for me. And it was, all these people were having these massive aha moments and these massive transformations. And I was like, it was the third day, and I was starting to get a little bit like panicked that I wasn't going to have my big breakthrough. And she was interviewing at the time, Rochelle Fredson was the PR director at Hay House. So she was in charge of all the PR and marketing at Hay House. And the girl beside me said, they were doing a Q&A, and the girl beside me said, "What are you going to ask?" And I said, "Nothing. Why?" And she said, "Well, why's your hand up?" And I realized that my hand had been up to ask a question. I didn't have anything. I didn't even know my hand was up, but it was like, okay, I better keep my hand up because, you know, whatever force is keeping my hand up. And then as soon as she said that, someone handed me the microphone, and Gabby said, "Okay, what's your question?" And I said, "I don't know if I have a question, but I just want to be you when I grow up. And you're only a year older than me. And so I don't have a lot of time." And I said, "I just admire you, and I just want to be on stage with you one day." And she said, "Okay, come on up." And then it was like, huh? Because I've always had this fear of being seen and public speaking. Heck no. Like, never, ever am I going to be public speaking. And all of a sudden I'm on stage with Gabby Bernstein, that's this huge mentor to me, and, you know, the PR marketing head of Hay House, and I don't have a question. I don't have anything to say. And so I just kind of turned around, and she made me acknowledge the audience and how it feels to be on stage with Gabby Bernstein. And I kind of took a couple steps back, stumbling. I was feeling really gross and uneasy. And she was standing beside me, and I hit her chair with my bum, and I just kind of sat down, and then everybody laughed. And as soon as everybody laughed, it just like, all that stress just kind of like went away. And I was like, okay, I like that. I like when they laugh. I like that feeling. And then I was just like, I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'm like, I'm just a tired ass mom. And I said, I went through a period of time when I was so unhappy, and now I found spirituality and mediumship, and I don't know what to do with it. I'm just a tired ass mom. And she said, "Okay, well, that's your thing." I was like, "Oh, okay." And then she said, "Someone buy her see if that domain is available," and all that. And we just like, and that's like that's my ideal client, is that tired ass mom, that whether you're the mom of the newborn or the great grandma who's lost their direction, that's my jam. That's my thing. So I had tiredassmoms.com for a while. We're working on stuff like that. I've written a book. I'm fighting with the am I good enough to actually publish the book thing now called Tired Ass Mom. And it's about my journey into spirituality and mediumship. And mediumship is just like, it's the thing that I do, but my real message and my real passion is that you don't have to, you know, iron shirts and be miserable, or even stay in the job that you don't like and be miserable, or if you're not happy being a stay-at-home mom, you can find something that you're passionate about. It doesn't have to be talking to dead people. It doesn't have to be teaching meditation. It doesn't have to be anything to do with what I do. But you don't have to be unhappy. It's 2019. If I can talk to dead people for a job, you can do whatever you want to do. So that's what came out of working with Gabby Bernstein. So I went on to do her level 2. I went back this past June and did her level 1 again. And it was just like, I was in such a different place, because I was like, I kept having questions and putting my hand up and then going, oh no, I know the answer to that. And oh no, I know the answer to that. And I almost knew exactly what she was going to say to the people. So it was almost a really good confidence boost to go back and revisit. I think internally I wanted to relive the fun of getting up on stage and the big moment of whatever it was when I got up on stage with her. But as soon as I was there, it was like, you're such a different person now. And that was only 2 years later. So it really was amazing to show me how different I am in just 2 years. That's not a lot of time. It's not a lot of time. So, yeah.
I love that story. And actually, now that I've heard it, because we haven't really sat down and I haven't fully heard it, I'm like, it's kind of really similar to mine in a lot of ways when I met my coach and stuff. So that's super cool. Oh, we lost
awesome.
Renee. She'll be back.
Oh, she'll be back.
Yeah, she'll be back. She does this sometimes, disappears and stuff. That's super amazing. So I do see a couple people watching. If anybody is watching and wants a card, say hello, say your name, because Kelsey does have some cards that here that we can have a little bit of fun with. Yeah. So while we're waiting for Renee to come back, because I'm sure she will, can we talk a little bit about the open house this week at 11:11? We've got some fun stuff going on. Oh, yeah, she's back.
She's back.
Yeah, so the open fun with Facebook Lives.
Yeah.
Just blame the universe.
That's exactly. I have a cold, and all of a sudden you get that tickle, and I'm like, oh no, oh no, oh no. Sorry, guys.
Oh, okay,
that's okay.
I thought you glitched out.
I did. I totally glitched out. It wasn't my fault.
In your throat.
You're right. Yeah. It was a truth tickle.
Your throat chakra was wanting to speak.
It was. It was definitely. So what did I miss?
Well, we were just going to talk a little bit about the open house.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we're just having a little open house. We have some new people. We have yoga. We have Tarah doing some meditation in the moon circles, and we have a new aromatherapist. So we just decided to kind of come together and do like a little open house for people to come in and see and meet all of us. And I think we're featuring you and myself and Tracy this time, and then the next time we'll feature 3 other people. But pretty much everybody's going to be here on Saturday. So we have business coach, we have yoga teachers, we have massage therapists, like everything. So yeah, it's from 1 to 3, and yeah, I'm excited.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, Jess, I see Jess is on. Do you want a card, Jess? Yeah, give me some hearts.
It's Kelsey, it's kind of funny because I don't know if you did as well, but I grew up in Sherwood Park. And
I'm a St. Albert kid, but same.
It is, and it was
so the same.
I married someone who was from St. Albert, and he wouldn't move to Sherwood Park, so we moved to Stony Plain, or just outside of Stony Plain. And I grew up in a very Pentecostal family, and all this mediumship stuff was like, cool, didn't touch it.
Yep.
Of the devil.
Yeah.
And living out west, it's very, I want to say hippie-ish, kind of a little more holistic. Like a third of the population out there, we all homeschooled.
Yeah.
So it's just a different mindset.
Yeah.
And then a divorce came in, and I had to move back to Sherwood Park, where I swore I'd never move back to. And I'm happy to be here. Swore I'd never do it. Happy to be here. But it was funny because I've talked to Tarah about this. I craved the people from out west and that mindset, and I craved being able to walk into a store and look at incense and rocks, and I ended up going to Namaste Spa just to stand there and look at rocks
and be in the
so
in the energy.
It's such a neat concept to come to Sherwood Park, because it's not, we are a large population. We have a very high income level. It is very much the picket fence community, and to see a meditation studio open up in this community, it's amazing.
It's been a huge learning curve for me, because I really was like, I knew people here and there in different communities and different modalities and stuff. But I really, when I opened 11:11, I opened it with the intention of being like a collective for all of us to come together, all of us like-minded people to come together. And I learned a lot about myself and my spiritual superiority. Ooh, that's a gross one to admit, because I saw it reflected in so many people who came here. And then it's the competition vibe as well, of different people who've come in, and it's like people, you almost like they're just kind of like, eyeing you up to see if you're good enough or whatever, which is kind of very much the Sherwood Park vibe. Like we all are. Should I be saying this on live?
No, it's very true though. It can be very superficial.
Yeah, very. Yeah. And that's why I'm here. That's why I'm divinely placed in Sherwood Park, because I'm here to help the people that I can help, and I have a never-ending clientele here. But when I first moved here from St. Albert, everyone was like, oh, St. Albert snob. And then I had no friends, because everybody from Sherwood Park, I found they had their friends since kindergarten. And it was like, we're good, thanks. Like I have my group of friends. So it was really actually hard to make friends. And I think that 11:11 kind of came from that desire to make friends who I can have the real, like, spiritual deep conversations with, I have some really good friends in Sherwood Park. When you start saying that you see dead people, scatter a little bit. When you come out of the broom closet, they scatter a little bit. And then almost 2 years ago, I stopped drinking. And then everybody was like, wow, okay, what is she doing?
Really gone
and they
off the edge.
really scattered. But that created room in my life for the people who were actually in alignment with me. So, and those people who scatter and judge, they come back when they're in time of crisis, when their husbands are cheating, or when they don't know what to do, or they realize that I might be able to, help them. Or I say something that goes, oh, okay, I see what she's saying. They come back. So it's all about patience, right?
Well, and go ahead, Tarah.
Well, Renee, we've got Jess here, and she wanted a card. And we've also got Valerie. I don't know if she wants a card, so I thought we should honor that.
Okay, yep, for sure.
I'm cutting Renee off.
Renee, that never happens.
I'm just kidding. So this one's for Jess.
This is for Jess. Okay.
For Jessica. Yeah.
All right. So I'll tell you my process too. When I'm pulling cards for people, I just ask a general question unless they're in front of me. What does Jess need to know? I'm also getting, that's the one I wanted, a confidence vibe for her. What lights you up? Starseed, what lights you up? How pretty is this card?
I love that one.
I love this deck. This is Rebecca Campbell. So Jess, what lights you up? Focusing on what lights you up. And I say this in coaching and readings all the time. If you're not focusing on things that light you up, you're focusing on things that dim your light. So if you're finding yourself kind of running around in your head, trying to scramble and trying to figure things out, go towards things that light you up. If you were listening earlier, I asked the universe, I asked, the powers that be, whatever it is out there that's bigger than us, for help when I was in a really dark place. And the next day, like that, the universe worked so fast like that. I had a client talking about mediumship, and it immediately lit me up and gave me something to look excited, or look towards, or and be excited about. I feel like whatever lights you up, Jess, is not something that you're comfortable just being out and embracing almost. And that's where the confidence piece comes in. So being confident to be you or yourself. I don't know if you're from Sherwood Park, but like we were saying earlier, Sherwood Park is a lot of smoke and mirrors, and there's a lot of, we should do things this way, we should look this way, we have to keep up with the Joneses and all that kind of stuff. And the more you stand in your own power and connect to your own light and what lights you up, the people who don't align with you will fall away. But that, like I said, makes room for people who do align with you. So follow what lights you up. If you don't like yoga, don't do yoga. If you like running, who likes running? But if do what you want to do and not what you feel like you should do, basically. So that was for Jess.
Jess is from down south. Very down south. Very down south.
Very down south.
I don't want to say it wrong. Okay, and then we've got Valerie. She would love a card as well.
Val wants a card too? All right, what does Val need to know?
And Jess said, pretty card, thank you. I can be myself online, Alabama, U.S. Being a medium myself is a whole other ball game.
Oh, hey, sister. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. All right, Val. Oh, Val gets the play card. Have fun, celebrate. Don't be so serious. Don't be so serious. So Val, I feel like Val has been working on her stuff. Can I swear?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're working on your shit, Val. She's working her shit out, and that's really good. And you've been doing a lot of work, but don't forget to play. Don't forget to have fun. Don't forget to blast the JT and dance in your car. Don't forget to do anything. Don't forget to sit down and play with a dog or a puppy or a kitten. That is I'm like animals for Val. Learn from kids, watch little kids, watch animals. They don't have the weight of the world on them. So they play and they can have fun. And this goes along with Jess's card too. What lights you up? What do you like to do? Go to a bouncy place, go to wherever. Don't go to a bouncy place. You'll break your break your bones. Maybe we're too old for that. But like kids, like that, the joy and the freedom of going to, you know, a bouncy house or a trampoline park. That's what I'm trying to say. Embody that play and that fun and that lightness. And I don't like the word balance, but you gotta balance out the work with the play. Play hard, work hard. And that's that.
Valerie says, love it. Thank you.
Yay.
I don't know if you can see that. So that's why I'm repeating the comments. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Ooh, that
so
was fun.
What does Tarah need?
What does Tarah need?
What is Tarah? I'm throwing her under the bus.
We have rules. Friends don't. No, I'm just kidding. Friends don't lie about. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, you can pull a card for me. Totally, do it.
I told her this story the other day of when I went live with a friend of mine, and I was like, "You're on her business page. You're not doing what you're supposed to be doing." Yeah, that was awkward. I pulled the warrior woman for you though, Tarah.
Ooh.
How pretty is that? Warrior woman. If you weren't afraid, what would you do? So this is all about kind of snuffing out your light too. And this is all just like embodying that warrior woman energy when you go to do anything that you go to do. I was listening actually to Mel Robbins this morning, and she does the 5-second rule, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, just go and do it. And this card is suggesting to you or asking you, just stop. You can feel the fear and do it anyway. Just go and do it. Whatever you're afraid of, just go and do it. I feel like you've been pushing past a lot of boundaries and putting yourself out there more. And keep doing that. Keep doing that. Keep doing that. Because every time that you push past fear, your nervous system literally goes, okay, I didn't die. Maybe I can do that again, right? It's not scary. You know, if you go to teach a meditation class, it's scary as hell the first time. And then the second time you're like, okay, scary, but not so scary, right? So keep pushing past that fear.
I love it.
Embrace that warrior woman. You've got it in you. You are that archetype anyway, I feel like. You are that big, powerful presence. But it's, don't keep it locked away.
You've got this shit.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This. Okay. Now you got to do Renee. I mean,
hey.
Dear
God. I didn't
she called.
that.
Like, I should have had mine out here too. Kelsey.
We could all just pull cards for each other.
We could just do that. We could just sit online and just pull cards all day.
Yeah.
So you are right on Tarah's, because I actually went and took in the full moon ceremony the other night, and I've never been to one with strangers. I've done it with, my tribe or my girlfriends, and it was very different, but I was so proud of Tarah. I had such a hard time keeping my eyes shut just because it was so fun to watch her, because she just moved so freely, and I'm like side to side as she's doing the dance thing, and she just like embraces it, and I'm like, who are you?
Who is this goddess?
Yes.
Yeah. That was really interesting for me that night, because when I lead things like that, I always love to have a dance party. always. And because I always say we got to move to like get that stuck energy out, right? Move your body. Upper lip sweat every day. Mandatory. You don't have to run a marathon, but upper lip sweat every day. I don't follow that, but I tell people to. Although the studio is a little warm right now, so
we all can work.
But when I'm leading or facilitating something, you have to get into it. And that's something I learned from Gabby Bernstein. She said, if you're going to lead a dance party, you got to fully commit. You can't just get up there and say, move your body, and then be like, But when you were up there, I was really uncomfortable, and I was having this weird moment. So I was enjoying being in this weird moment of like, why am I so uncomfortable with this when I'm leading a dance party or some intuitive dance or whatever? I'm totally into it. So it was interesting for me to be able to explore that. So thank you for that. But yeah, you just totally went for it. It was amazing. And speaking of that, it's funny that Renee, that you just said that. Because here I pulled the dance card for you.
I love it.
I need to bounce out of my side to side.
Side to side. Yeah. So dance. Do something to shift your vibration. Literally, I pulled this card and I didn't even look at it until I was done talking about dancing. So that is hilarious. And that's also how cards and spirit work. So
that's awesome.
So dance. Do something to move your upper lip sweat. Just light.
Well, I'm heading to a hot yoga class tonight. So
nice.
It's not quite dance, but
that will be full body drench.
It will be, yes. Thank you so much, Kelsey.
You're welcome.
So where can people find you? We know 1111 Studio or 1111 Holistic, right?
Holistic Community Collective. It's a very long name. We just say 1111 Community now.
Yeah, I love it though.
Yeah. Yeah, you can find me there. My website is kelseydalziel.com. On Facebook, I'm Kelsey Dalziel, spiritual medium soul coach. And on Instagram, I am just Kelsey Dalziel.
You can...
Not just Kelsey, the Kelsey Dalziel.
The Kelsey Dalziel.
We will share your link.
What did you say? Oh, thanks, Jess.
I know, right? Maybe
Thanks,
I'll have
Jess.
to take a camera next time and not let her know I'm taping it. And then we could have like a whole show on a full moon ceremony. It'd be great, Tarah. It'd be great. You would love it. Don't worry about it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We should do that. We should live
Well,
stream.
I'm all in my moving and grooving.
Jams up in the ceiling. It'll be good. Yeah.
We're activating that Shakti energy.
Yeah. The only thing she has or comfort in is the fact that I suck at technology. So the likelihood of it ever getting on our page, unless she does it, is pretty slim. But if we'll put your links in the comments, and those in Edmonton or Sherwood Park area come out on Saturday is it 1 and 3?
Between 1 and 3, yeah.
To check out the open house and meet Tarah in person, and woohoo! It'll be awesome.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Totally.
Yeah.
So you'll have to come and check it out. It's gonna be awesome. And yes, definitely we'll put the links for Kelsey below, the amazing Kelsey. And we are gonna have to have you back on here and do some more fun again sometime for sure.
That was really fun.
Well, and one other thought for people: you do readings online or soul coaching online?
Yeah, I do everything. Okay. We can do Zoom. We can do phone readings or phone coaching, or you can do it in person. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me. That's why I love the internet. The world is my oyster. Yep.
So for those of you not local, you can just head there.
Yeah. I've read people in South Korea, I think was my farthest, unless New Zealand is farther than South Korea. I'm not really sure on the mileage there. Yeah, I've read people all over. That's the joy of like the Spirit Junkie community, Gabby Bernstein's community, is meeting all those people from all over the world. And then you just and you bond, right?
I bet.
So cool.
Yeah. That is awesome.
Yeah.
And congratulations to her on a baby.
Yay!
If she's watching,
if she's watching,
right?
One day.
We'll tag her, eh?
Yeah,
we will. Yeah.
I felt like a big jerk when I was up on stage with her, because I said, that's the one thing I have over you is I have kids, and I didn't know that she was having fertility issues until after she came out and started talking about her fertility issues after, and it was like face palm, foot in mouth. I had no idea, but then I also had every faith that she was going to have a baby. So when I went this past June, I looked at her. She was pregnant. She hadn't told anybody, and I was like, there is an extra energy attached to you. Yes, she's having a baby. So yeah, she had her little Ollie.
I can't wait.
Now she's a tired ass mom.
Yeah. She should be contacting you.
Yeah.
Give her a few years.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us, Kelsey.
Thanks for having me.
Definitely have to have you back on. And
come join us on Saturday at the open house at 11:11. We'll be happy to meet you.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. Thank you so much for watching, Canada. Thanks for your time. We appreciate it. Heart us, share us, comment below, hop over to Kelsey's pages, and we will see you next Thursday.
Yes. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks, guys.